I was in shock. I wasn't expecting that voters would choose Brexit in that way. First of all, because I couldn't believe that anybody would believe the pack of lies that they were saying about why we wanted to go out of the European Union. And I say we because till that point I felt like a British citizen somehow. I've been living here for 19 years. So as I said, so can disbelief. I would say actually two short stories. One of them is about the day after the referendum, taking my kids to school, and I crossed paths with an English neighbor that I think that he wanted to show his support for all the European Union citizens in the neighborhood, and he was wearing his blue t-shirt with the European flag. That really touched me, and that made me understand that not all the neighborhoods, not all the cities were the same. And secondly, it's a story about my son, David. He's 11, and at the time he was 10. He was really interested in all the process of the referendum, and I remember that he was asking for a number of days whether he was British, Spanish, and he was born here, but he has a Spanish passport. And actually, after a few days of discussions, he was saying that actually, if he had to choose, he didn't want to lose his Spanish passport. He didn't want to become British. He wanted to keep being European Union citizen. I would say worried because we don't know anything yet. We don't have facts, and we don't know what are the changes that are going to happen. So I worried because we don't know what's going to happen in 2 years' time or in 5 years' time. So right now is waiting, and is the not knowing and not understanding what's going to happen with us, what it's worrying. We are here to stay. I've been living here for 19 years. Nothing is going to change my intention to live in the UK, because I chose it as my home, and it will be my home for the next 40 years. What I will say is that we are going to be as resilient as some of the Brexiters were for the last 40 years. When they came in the UK came in the European Union in '73, they've been asking to go out for 40 years. Hopefully, if I'm alive in 40 years, I will keep fighting to ask to go back in the European Union. We are going to be patient, and I really think that we'll get it at the end. Gibraltar was on the news last week about some MPs from the UK asking for war and inciting diplomatic problems with Spain about Gibraltar. As a citizen, I've never been worried about Gibraltar, and I don't know any of my friends who is really bothered about Gibraltar. I think that it's more a problem of politicians and more a problem of trying to get the attention, move the attention from unemployment or from Brexit into something else. So the fact that lots of English people is starting to be interested in getting their Irish passports, Italian passports from grandparents, or even thinking in moving abroad and then becoming a European citizen in the future, is been happening somehow in lots of really specific sectors like medicine, nurses, doctors have been doing it to some of the Commonwealth countries, and now it's happening in other sectors. Yesterday on the news we were listening about the city in London, how many of the bankers are asking their employers to be relocated to the European Union because of problems with the instability they are getting from their employer and from the environment. This is going to keep happening in the next few years, and the problem is that somehow the people relocating and moving abroad is not going to be those less skilled, but those more skilled. So we are going to keep losing capital in the country, and competing with the rest of the European Unions, who are going to be big competitor for us from now onwards, is going to be even more difficult. Not only not attracting the European Union brains to come in the European Union to work as engineers, doctors and bankers, but actually the best ones, the best British ones, moving abroad. I would like to add that I think that Brexit somehow is been trying to divide different populations across the UK, immigrants and EU citizens, and actually what it's managing to get is that European citizens are getting together for first time. We are going out on One Day Without Us, we are going out on other demonstrations to show our support for the European Union, and it's making us stronger as a community. For example, as an example, on the north of the UK, the Spanish, for first time ever, we've managed to choose and to elect a council of Spanish residents to inform and communicate with the Spanish consulate. This is something that we've never managed to get before, and now, basically, thanks for Brexit, we managed to do it.